Morning. Welcome back. If you allow me to start the second session of present, it's about recent developments and updates in our region. Usually every year we have a session that we share updates from partners in the region. The Arab region. Part of it is ASREN. Part of it is Africa Connect 2, Human Connect 3, and Internet 2 SIG meeting. I would like to welcome you again to the second session and allow me to start. Our speakers today, as I said, will have, I will be just doing some introduction and some updates, but the major update will be done by my colleague tomorrow in session 5. Session 6. What we are doing here, as I said, David West will be providing some update on Human Connect 3 and Africa Connect 2. Yousef Asfour will be doing some presentation about AUB, how it contributes towards Lebanese Research and Education Network. Johnathon Chapman from Internet 2 SIG meeting, Middle East, so he will be also talking about the recent developments in SIG, Internet 2 SIG. And our partners now, we have 11 representatives, actually 11 representations, not representatives, because some of them are not around. We have 11 people will be talking about recent developments in their countries. So this is how our session will go for today. I would like to share with you first the slide that I have presented in Oman, Muscat, 2 years ago, that we have, at that time, we have 14 NRENs have been there, and this is the record for Oman. At that time, I presented that there are lots of evolutions in our region. Most of Arab countries now, either they have NREN or starting NREN, either through the ministry, for example, like Yemen and maybe Iraq. Now Libya also. Some developments have been happening also. We will share this. From my end, I think what I want to show you that ASREN, there is another update, which is our partners. So you see, we have a good list of partners. We have now, you count, and maybe we are missing some partners. We are now we have more relations and more agreements and more collaboration with the rest of the world. I will not just list all of these. Just say you can see most of the logos of these are our partners. Another project, Magic project. We will have a presentation on. Actually, we'll have a session on the global science communities, and at the end of the day, today, session 4. We'll be talking about the magic. It's really magic, and you will enjoy that magic. It's about how to bring in global collaboration at the global level. And you see, all the world is here, and all the world are partners in this project, in addition to ASREN. So you can see ASREN is part of this global project. Another update is we have now a project with Indiana University. It's funded by NSF about it's called Networks for European, American, and African Research (NEAR) project. It's a $3.25 million for 2 years, for 4 years, and the partners. One of them is ASREN, in addition to Indiana University, GEANT, Continental Alliance, ASREN, and SAREN and TENET. So. Another update, Sesame, the major synchrotron light system service in Jordan now is connected to us, to our POP in London, and they have been using the link for the last 3 months very efficiently. So it's another update at the regional level, and we are now partnered with the group of Earth observation, on Earth observation, where the research is. This group comprised of started in 2005, and it includes as member governments 102 nations, in addition to the EC, and we have 104 participating organizations that have that altogether are interested to support the observation on Earth, and when it comes to research, how can they be inform the research projects that we want to have, at the end of the day, we want to take care of our Earth so that all research comes for the benefit of our mankind. This is another, it's called Global Earth Observation Systems of Systems, where we have some organizations or at the continent level or the regional level that they work on establishing some systems to collaborate at the continent level so that they can better work together. And we as ASREN and Ubuntu Net Alliance and working now, we are partners. We are working with this regional one called AFRIGIOS to support the researchers to make use of our network. In addition to that, I want to tell you that ASREN now is official participating organization with the GEO, and it's leading the work with AFRIGIOS to work on making the infrastructure available to the researchers who work in this area. Yes, it's for Africa now, but we will extend this work to the rest of the Arab region. This is the African map for research centers, regional centers, and remote sensing organizations who work for AFRIGIOS, and we are happy we start already collaboration with many organizations in this region. The reason I'm doing this presentation, including it in my update, because we had on the agenda for tomorrow a speaker from Egypt, from NAS, who will be talking about this initiative, AFRIGIOS, but unfortunately he cancelled. That's why I just added some slides on this. So in general, we are very happy to be supporting these organizations to utilize this infrastructure and to start collaboration with them. Simply, this is my update. I think we will have more. The real update is coming from our partners and from our NRENs in the region. So I'm proud that we have, as I said, we have 11 speakers. But let me start first with our speaker. The first one is David West, who will be talking about the recent updates on Africa Connect 2 and Human Connect 3, which are the support of the project by the European Commission and cooperation with GEANT. So David West, if you can share any update with us.
Thank you, Yousef. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here at this EAGE. I think I've been to them all so far, and I hope to continue to come to them for many years to come. My organisation, GEANT, has been working in this region and is committed to supporting regional projects now for many years. We do this partly because we believe we have good experience and knowledge which we gladly share and want to use to benefit other regions. We also do it for more selfish reasons, and that is because it enables us to ensure that we have maximum connectivity internationally with other regions for the users across Europe. And at the last count, we had about 67 countries outside of Europe connected, largely as a result of the regional projects in which we got involved. Two of those outside Europe that are developing fast at the moment are EAP Connect, which is in the Eastern European part, just outside Eastern Partnership area, where 4 countries have been connected in the last year. In the Asia Pacific region, we work very closely and advise the TAIN programme, and that is now starting a new 5-year phase under the project name of Asia Connect. So a lot of things going on outside the region, but in this region, I was asked to talk about Africa Connect and UMED Connect, of which I am the project manager on behalf of GEANT for those regional projects. In both cases, the countries in this region have had some issues, largely related to the Arab Spring, a number of instability and commotion, which clearly affected R&E networking, and from which we are now recovering, I'm pleased to say. In the case of UMed Connect 3, we now have, as you heard earlier this morning, we have Lebanon connected for the very first time this year, 320 megs of connectivity via ASREN to GEANT. That's great news, and I was very pleased to hear the Minister also solidly back the formation of LEARN, which as the National Research and Education Network here. In Jordan, as Yousef said, there's an important connection with the Sesame programme. I think that's going to be a very, very significant project in the years to come for the whole region, and will drive connectivity between the region, particularly from Jordan and with Europe. I'm very pleased to announce that the European Commission has agreed to extend the term of the UMed Connect programme. It was to finish this month. It's now being extended for three further years. I'm also pleased to say that the amount of money that the EC puts into the costs of the project is going to be increased as a portion, so which is now being raised to 60% of the costs. So I think that's a very, very good news for this region. For Africa Connect 2, this is a Pan-African project, as Stephanie from the European Commission was mentioning earlier. Pan-African project in 3 parts. A part for southeastern Africa, which is run by the Bundesnet Alliance. A part for Central and Western Africa, run by WACREN, and along with GEANT. And then the Northern African part, also run by GEANT, and this time with ASREN. And here, we're also seeing good progress. We have the connections for Algeria, which is the partner with the most persistent international connectivity in the region, having started up in 2003, I believe. We also, after the commotion of the Arab Spring, we now have real prospects of a reconnection for Tunisia. We're very close to that now. We're working closely with our partner on that. We're also getting close to reconnecting Morocco, and we have tenders out for both of those right now. And we're also getting very close to upgrading the existing links for Egypt, which are provided through the partners there. So for all of those things, Africa Connect is looking in good shape. It's currently running until 2018. And I suspect it's going to run for several more years and possibly further phases after that. I said at the start that GEANT has been working very hard in the region to help support activities. We remain strongly committed to doing that and see this as a continuation of a long-term partnership between Europe and the region. Thank you.
I'm guessing I'm next. Let me see if I can find how this works. Is this it? It's hard to see. I think that's me. All right. Thank you everyone for coming and staying. And what I'd like to do today is spend about 5 minutes, maybe 10, talking about what AUB's been doing in terms of... I introduce myself. Talk about what AUB's been doing in terms of supporting the establishment of a Lebanese NREN, which you've heard about today through the Minister and through the work we've been doing. You may know, but AUB is committed to, as you heard this morning by Professor Rajli and my opening remarks, is that AUB is committed to regional development through education and research. In fact, AUB is currently celebrating its 150th anniversary. We were founded in 1866. We are chartered in New York, so we are actually an American institution. And our degrees are approved by the Board of Regents in New York State. We are private and independent, meaning we are self-funded. Most of our funding is through tuition and grants and research. And we are certainly not sectarian. We are a very secular environment that we strive to achieve excellence in education, and in particular in teaching, learning, and research. We are one of the very few true liberal arts education system in the Middle East, and we serve not just Lebanon but the whole region. Some of you might even know some of our history and some of our statistics. If you're interested, let me know. I'll spend half an hour telling you all that. So, in order for us to address the ascendancy of research at AUB, in particular, in order to achieve our mission of achieving excellence in research and education, there are two things that we really need to do. The first one is to develop the capability to develop new services very quickly. As you know, education is evolving, research is changing all the time, and we need to find ways that we can, as an IT department, as a university, find ways to continuously evolve those research services and continuously find ways to deliver those services very quickly. And the other one is research and education without collaboration doesn't work. So what we really need to do is find ways to enable collaboration between not just our faculty, staff, our students, but between our institutions and other institutions in Lebanon, in the region, and the world. For us to be able to do that, we need to change the way we think about things. And in particular, in the IT department and in our support services, we need to start thinking in terms of transforming ourselves from being service providers, those people who actually design, build, and operate the services, to becoming service brokers. By service brokers meaning instead of building our own services and running them ourselves, we in order to achieve the quick delivery of services, in order to achieve the collaboration, we need to transform ourselves into brokers wherein we start looking for services that exist somewhere else and then try to adapt those services and integrate them into our infrastructure. And the way we do that is the best way to achieve that is by joining the NREN community. The reason we want to do that is so that we can leverage the existing services that have already been developed by the community of researchers and educators in the world to provide those services to our teachers, our instructors, our researchers, our students. The NREN community provides us an academic collaboration platform where we have a platform that we can combine and collaborate between us and all the other institutions. It's a place where we can contribute, but also share resources and services that have been contributed by others, and also to be able to participate in the global regional connectivity initiatives across the world. So our view is that in order for us to become research-oriented and in order to achieve our research goals, what we really need to do is find ways to deliver services quickly. To do that, we have to become service brokers, and the best way to do that is to join the NREN community. So what are we doing to do that? Well, we started by connecting to GEANT and ASREN, via ASREN, and we started with a measly 10 megabits per second. That's all we could afford, and it was the only way we could do it. So we actually was on one of those conferences back in Jordan, where we had a side conversation with ASREN and GEANT, and we said, how can we connect? And we found a way that we could connect 10 megabits. That was last April. And by now, we're actually up to 300 megabits per second. And what we're trying to do is, now that we have this connection, we're looking for ways to also share that connection with the rest of the Lebanese community. We also joined Internet 2. And the reason we joined Internet 2 is because we also want, like I said, we want to be part of this NREN community, and we want to be able to share and contribute to those services. We also leveraged some of the NREN services. The first one we've leveraged is EduRoam. We started by implementing EduRoam for Lebanon, for AUB. And once we implemented in AUB, what we started to do is started talking to different institutions across Lebanon to say, would you like to use that service, and how can we help you operate it in your environment? The combination of the connectivity with GEANT and the connectivity with the EduRoam started a conversation with the rest of the universities and the other 10 institutions to say, how can we start collaborating together? And I think that sense of collaboration is what has got us where we are today, and what led the minister to show his great support for LEARN. So what we're doing now is continuing in AUB to look for other NREN services and leveraging our connections and our partnerships with ASREN, with GEANT, and with Internet 2 to explore what other services we can do so that we can start deploying them at AUB And then after we deploy them at AEB, also share them and operate them and help other institutions in Lebanon start doing them. Some of the services we're already working on is AEB is already the NREN, no, I can never say that one, NREN service, which is basically, the way I describe it, is the DNS for the country codes. We're also working on establishing a federation for AEB and then using that for Lebanon. We're pretty close to launching that. We also have a whole bunch of database services that we are looking to, one, share from AEB, but also get access to from other places in the world. We're members of In Common, and we're using shared libraries. We're also looking for partners that would help us share high-performance computing services. So if any of you out there have high-performance computing services that have extra capacity, please talk to us. We're in desperate need and working with you on that. And we're also looking at collaboration services. In fact, the discussion with the other 10 universities at this point, we're getting close to putting a proof of concept together to connect the universities together and start using Red Clara's Collaboratorio so that we can start having these kind of collaboration services among the Lebanese universities. I think that would be a great example where multiple universities working together locally, leveraging a service that was developed in another NREN, and then using it to have collaboration between the universities locally as well as globally. And we're also looking at ways to do distance learning. So where do we go from here? We're looking to, like I said, develop all those services, actually adopt and adapt these services from the different NRENs, and then publish them at AEB. Once those services are stable, we want to share them with all the other Lebanese research and education community, the 10 institutions we're working with now, and beyond that if we can. We also want to be able to use our expertise to share and distribute in the region through ASREN and GEANT to help build capacity within the region, and also leverage the virtual network that we've built by creating this community of researchers among the 10 institutions we're working with, so that we can start using that as a group to start leveraging the powers that be, so that we can eventually build the high-speed, reliable, cheap network that everybody wants, which we still don't have. So that's what we've been doing, and that's where we're going. Take questions now or later, Yousef. So thank you.
Thanks, Yousef. Now I'd like to invite Johnathon Chapman. He's the chair of Internet to Middle East Special Interest Group.
Good morning. Thank you, Yousef. That's good. So, like David, I believe I've been to every ASREN EAH conference. It's always been a pleasure to be here and to support the work that is going on in the region, and the work that ASREN is taking on to bring all of the regional efforts together. So, as Yousef introduced me, I am the chair for the Internet 2 Middle East Special Interest Group. Internet 2 is the NREN for the United States, and I'm in the session later on today that I'll speak a little bit more about them. Within the region, our purpose with having the regional interest group is to bring together existing and potential or developing NRENs in the region to give them an opportunity to share experiences, the successes, the challenges, which we do have a few, we know, and strategies that people are taking to advance their regional networks. We like to see how also we can encourage NREN developments where they don't currently exist. We met yesterday. We attempt, wherever possible, to meet annually, sometimes in conjunction with the ASREN meeting, sometimes as an independent meeting. Since 2008, I can say that we've met in 5 different countries around the region of the Middle East, and always with very interesting speakers and lots of discussion. Biggest challenge is probably getting people back from the coffee breaks because all of the conversation that's going on. We met yesterday and we heard updates from a number of our regional members and institutions about their experiences. Some of those will be following me on the stage here, so I am not going to speak about them. I will let them speak for themselves. Some other developments, though, that I can share that are happening in the region from people that are not here is Saudi Arabia has an ongoing effort to create an NREN, and we've got a memorandum of understanding developing with Internet 2, and I believe they're establishing it with some of the other global NRENs. And we look forward to seeing that connectivity coming up and active shortly. Then we also have our colleagues at KAUST, and they have their own connectivity out to Internet 2 and to Europe and GEANT, which I know is being utilized and is progressing. In Qatar, the Qatar Foundation has recently done an upgrade up to a 5 gig connection on their link to United States Internet 2. The Qatar Foundation is sort of a unique situation in that they have 6 American universities with campuses all in one location, and so their connectivity is very important to them for moving forward their mission. Unfortunately, we've yet to see developments happen in Bahrain and Kuwait, and the ASREN team have already spoken about efforts that are happening here in around the Mediterranean into North Africa. So I'd like to simply close my comments with I'm very impressed with what progress we've made. I know there's been some challenges, and I look forward to continuing to see the interest group gathering together, sharing, and working forward to develop NRENs and research and education in the region, across the regions. Okay.
Next, now we'll start the updates from our partners in the region. I'll start with Algeria. Awoush El-Maouhab, she's the director of ARN. So let me open your presentation.
Thank you, Yousef. Good morning, everyone. So, I will just give you an update about our achievements regarding the Algerian Research Network and what have been done during the last decades. Our network, our NREN, is based on 10 POPs and have international connectivity. The most important one is the link to GEANT, and we have also internet commodity. We can see on the map here that all the institutions, universities, research centers are connected through our POPs, and we have 2 links, one with GEANT, which has been upgraded recently at the beginning of this year to 2.5 gigabytes, and we have another link for internet commodity, which is about 700 megabytes. The connectivity to GEANT is a long story because we have been the first country which has been connected to GEANT since 2004, and we have upgraded from 45 megabytes at the beginning to reach the link of 2.5 gigabytes. So it was very important for us to have this continuity, to be able to build services, important services. We think that these services are important for the community. So we can see that the backbone, the network, is the base for developing other infrastructure. What what you see on this slide is the most important infrastructure, which is the Desert E-Science grid, which has been developed since 2006, and we have progressively added services to this infrastructure. We can see after slide where we have put together integrated services. And what we are doing now is to build scientific communities, which is very difficult to gather and to organize in different fields of science. So we have started with some communities as physicists, chemists, and other scientists. You can see on this slide that some of services has been developed regarding the Desert E-Science grid infrastructure, which put us able to give services to our users. And we have started for setting a certificate authority, Desert E-Science CA, and grid resources, which has been mobilized and put on the ASREN network. And after we have developed a science gateway for giving the possibility to the scientists to have access more easily to the infrastructure, to the grid infrastructure. And during this, I think 5 years ago, we are member of Africa and Arabia ROC within EGI with European partners and other Arab countries also. So we can see on this slide the integration which has been done, where we have on the side the possibility to access the resources with tools and with important services. So we have set up recently during this year the Identity Federation, which is ARNAAE. This federation is now operational and is added to some of federated identities in grid sites, and we continue to add this federation to other sites to be able to access through this federation, Algerian Federation, to resources in other networks and also in Algerian sites. And with this federation, we have added IDPs. One of these IDP is related to grid services. So our users are now accessing grid resources in Algeria and through European and other sites with this our IDP and our Identity Federation. And we have also developed a science gateway which give the possibility to users to access applications. So we can see on the slide, for example, GATE, GROMAX, AIR. So all these applications are accessed through this science gateway. And we have, as you can see on the virtual organization, a virtual organization management system which organize and give credentials to users. And recently, we have had activities related to cloud, and we have integrated cloud infrastructure to grid infrastructure. So this activities has been achieved in 2015 during the NREN projects, European Commission projects, where we have added our infrastructure to some of, you can see on the slide below, some sites with Fed Cloud, and we have set up Open Nebula Cloud for this activity, for this operation, and we have been able to set up some application through cloud and grid integration infrastructure. So it's what I have as new information, updated information, and thank you.
Thank you.